Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gamesline podcast. I'm John. I know it's been a very long time. I won't go too far into detail, but I should be on the podcast more for the foreseeable future. So, hello, I'm here. Welcome. With me this time is Rose. Rose, you're here.
Hello, I'm here. I'm also not on this one that often, I guess, but also we don't do the games one it's been fine. It's been going fine. I've noticed it's been like a year since the rebrand and we have like 30 something. Not too shabby.
No, yeah. I mean, of course, we would love to have been weekly and all that. I mean, save for holidays and all that, but hopefully now, again, for the foreseeable future, it will probably be safe to assume that it'll be weekly, at least from my end. But I would hope that also past that things will still be able to happen on the website more often. Yeah. So we're here, we're ready to talk about games. Rose, what have you been up to lately? Like, even just other than games, like have you gotten up to anything cool, anything that you'd want to tell the crowd?
Anything thrilling? Not particularly, honestly. I've been kind of chilling. What have I been doing? God. I don't know. I've been trying to get back into a swing of I've been writing my little thing every once in a while. Where I talk about the games I've been playing because I play a lot of games. I've been trying to upkeep the games basically, of like do a list of like get through these. But the thing is I don't know if you've noticed this, but a lot of games keep coming out, and it's kind of a nightmare. Especially if you're into more like obscure, like for example, there's a Saga game that just came out. I wanted to dip into that, but like, are you fucking kidding me? There's so many games still to get through before I can even touch that. Like just May 9th, I think, was the day that like 6 indie games all came out that seemed pretty cool. There was the 1000x Resist that I want to check out. I don't know if you've seen that before.
I've seen it, yeah.
There's the Animal Well just came out. The Crypt Master game, have you seen that?
I don't think I've seen that one.
I highly recommend you check that out. It's it's like a dungeon crawler, but it's all text-based, like Typing of the Dead. So you just go around and like respond to all these skeletons who are just making fun of you with like you have to figure out like their riddles or like how to like you figure out all your spells by just guessing typing from like letters you get and stuff like that.
That seems pretty fun. Okay.
Yeah. I recommend watching someone play it. I think it has a sense of humor that you would appreciate. Is why I think you would like it. But that's just a few of the games that have come out recently. Like, I started up that Megaton Musashi and played it for like an hour and a half. Before being like, this game is apparently like 50 hours long. I don't know if I have it in me right now.
Yeah. I'm seeing on Steam, they just straight up have a bundle of Cryptmaster and 1000x Resist. Like, sure.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
Cash in on them both coming out the same day. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, I had looked at the schedule for this upcoming year and being like, all right, after April, I think like we're good. I think we're good for a while, and it was like first week of May ends, and then everything comes out. Like, oh,
it's mostly like smaller, like indie releases. I mean, like there's stuff that are indie releases that I wouldn't exactly call small. Like your Hades 2, as it were.
Yeah.
But no, you've actually played a couple of these. So
yeah.
Yeah, you got into Animal Well. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So, I mean, I'll say immediately, I know we both hate the fucking donkey guy who published this game. But, you don't have to think about that because he really didn't do anything with this game. It has really nothing to do with him, which is nice. But I would say Animal Well, I had heard in its lead up, I mean, there's people, I think GIFs had gone around for years and years because it's a very good looking game. It's a pixel art style, distorted. I guess like a more fancy Axiom Verge, for lack of a better comparison point.
Okay.
But it is a Metroidvania where you go around as your little creature. I don't really even know what kind of creature you are, but you're a little creature and you go around and you solve puzzles. You really just solve puzzles. Pretty much all the boss fights are just you solve a puzzle to defeat the boss, which I like. But it's really a game in the same pastiche as like a Fez or a Tunic, but way easier. Like, I think Tunic and Fez are games where they really want you to like the whole of the game is being invested in the meta stuff, right? Like you write down all the stuff that you find, the hidden notes, you counter, like, you know, you talk with someone else about their notes that they found, and then you come together with a solution, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is way more like personal. This is more like, oh, I figured out this mechanic can do that, and now I can do this. But it's way more straightforward that I think a lot more people are getting into this versus something like Tunic or Fez. And I think that's neat because I assume that you're not a fan of the Fez and the Tunics because they're very, I don't want to say overwrought, but
I don't know if I played Tunic, but like I think I messed around with Fez for a minute, and then I just kind of was like,
it's obtuse beyond belief.
It's obtuse, and it's also just like all of this has already been solved. I feel like going back and playing Fez is like,
that's why I think like Tunic was a lot better because it didn't rely on that collaborative nature entirely. That's more of like a secondary thing you could do because it was the whole Tunic did the thing of you have a manual, like an in-game manual that's supposed to be like the video game manual, and you collect pages of it as you go throughout, and you use the stuff you figure out on those pages to figure out how to do certain puzzles and stuff like that. And that was neat, but at the same time, it does get insane as it keeps going, especially if you want to like actually beat the game. Whereas this is like, I think you could just beat this game pretty normally in the standard Metroidvania stuff, and then there's like, you know, I think the developer put it as they said there's 3 layers to the game. There's the first layer that's like a normal Metroidvania. There's a second layer that's related to collecting all like the collectible things and doing obscure stuff for that. And then there's the third like pervert Fez level layer where you go around and you write down this tile in this room and then counter, you know, reference it with someone else's on a Discord's tile to figure out stuff. But I think the fact that it is separated into those layers really helps it, because it does mean like, hey, you don't have to engage with the third layer to get an ending, as it were.
Right.
But at the same time, I think this is a pretty basic game. Like, I think parts of it are a little too basic, but which I think I know a lot of people who are getting a little mad because I think reviews are very effusive for it. And talked about it like it's an Outer Wilds type situation. I don't think it's an Outer Wilds type situation, like at all.
People are being so weird about that game. Like, it seems like it's a perfectly fine game, but just like, even divorced from the donkey stuff, like, yeah, just the way that people are treating it, it's just, I'm just like, man, just relax a little bit.
It's very odd. It's
so weird.
Yeah, but
then you add the donkey stuff onto it, and it's just like people are just like prostrating themselves in front of this game because they're just like, oh, he's been right all along. Oh, he knows so much. He's such a smart person. And it's like, yeah, he put some money into a game that had already was being worked on for years and years, and his next project is a re-release of something that was already successful.
Like, what is he re-releasing?
I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's like some roguelike that came out already, but then got taken down because the publisher took it down, and then now he's just gonna republish it. So it's like, yeah, 2 layups, big whoop.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've discussed this before, but very frustrating to see the overwriting of the actual creator of this game just for the sake of being, hey, that's a YouTuber.
Anyway. Cool game.
It's a cool game. It's on PlayStation Plus. I think the second, or maybe just I don't know if it's the first or second tier. I have the second tier for PlayStation Plus just because it has an absurd amount of indie games on it.
Right.
It's on that. It's on. I'm pretty sure it's on the PC and it's on the Nintendo Switch. It runs fine on the Switch. I watched my friend play it on the Switch.
Okay.
Runs just fine. And PC, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's on everything basically. It's a pretty simple game. It's 70 megabytes.
Yeah,
like you can't see that anymore.
I saw people saying that like the PlayStation 5 like menu icon is larger than the rest of the game.
Yeah, I believe it. It's refreshing to see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a good game. I think if you're like someone who likes Metroidvanias, you should check it out. Yeah. I don't think you should buy into the hype necessarily, and I think not buying into the hype will make you have a better time. Because I started this before I saw any of the real hype for it, and I was able to be like, it's full of those little moments that people love from like the more recent Zelda games and stuff like that, where you realize how something works in a way that maybe isn't the intended purpose, as it were. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll just give you a light example. The first item you really get is a bubble wand that lets you just make a bubble appear in front of you. Mm-hmm. And eventually, and you're like supposed to like climb on the bubble and use it just for like slight elevation boosts. But then you realize if you jump and use the bubble at the same time, you can just make it as like an ever rising platforms for you over and over again, like a skill jump type thing. And it's not that hard to do. So it's like, oh, now I can actually just like climb this entire like giant pit I fell into earlier by like doing this and stuff like that. So it's full of like little personal like things like that of like, oh, I feel really smart for figuring this out. So I understand why it's resonating with that, but
I mean, yeah, like Metroidvanias have all kinds of stuff like that. I mean, you know, you look back at all the all the different things that you could do in original Metroid, like jumping with your grenades or stuff that has been coming out in Dread that speedrunners found. And you know, like I'm like 90% sure that when I was playing the new Momodora game, I'm pretty sure I got up to a ledge I wasn't supposed to, just because I was so persistent and pissy and just being like, I'm just getting up there, fuck it. And then I did, and it was like, okay, well, I don't think I was supposed to, but whatever, we move.
I think this game's pretty smart about like stopping you if something isn't actually like possible yet also, which is good. Like there's like I said, you can use that bubble thing to realize you can like travel to places you couldn't before, but they will still put like things like, oh, there's a hummingbird on this screen and it will come over 3 screens to like stop you from going to the spot because you're supposed to go here later by whatever for this reason. Which I always appreciate, those subtle stopping things. I don't know if you remember me playing that Bloodborne Metroidvania earlier this year and being like, oh wow, like they just let me go all the way into this area that I'm not supposed to be because of the thing or whatever. So then I was just like miserable, like pushing my head against here because I thought it was the right way to go. I think a degree of guidance is good, and I think this game has a degree of guidance that's helpful. I think that's why, not to be like, oh, this, you know, it's for babies, that's why it got 10s out of 10, stuff like that. But it's like, it is the type of thing where I understand why it has more mainstream appeal, because it is so immediately accessible with its mystique that I think people who aren't necessarily getting into things like the Outer Wilds or more complicated stuff like Tunic are getting a taste of that and being like, holy shit. Because the mainstream acceptance games of late have been pretty dire, let's say. So I can understand where that hunger comes from. Yeah, pretty cool.
Do you want to talk about something else, or do you want to hit some news, or what's up?
I mean, I guess I can cover the other one just real quick, just because there's not much to say about it. That came out that same day, Crow Country. I'll have a review on the site for this probably sometime next week. It's a short game, already basically done it. This is the Silent Hill-esque PS1 survival horror game. I guess Resident Evil, kind of more Resident Evil-y, honestly, actually, now that I say that. Where you go through an abandoned amusement park. I think it's pretty good. That's like long and short of it. I don't think there's that much for me to say about it. So Signalis came out recently, and everyone likes that, right, as a survival horror revival type situation. But I think Signalis is more like focused on trying to make something new out of the format to a degree, or be like a more modern take. on the survival horror stuff. This is way more like I'm going to like distill the nostalgia you have for these things and do it really well. It's very tongue-in-cheek. I think it's more tongue-in-cheek than like sincere, like a Resident Evil and a Silent Hill. But I think that works for it because it's a celebration of that stuff. Like it still has like, it has like all the puzzles, it has like all the fun things, but it never gets like overbearing the way that those actual games did at times. Like some of those obscure puzzles on the hard modes of Silent Hill or something like that. Everything's like pretty straightforward, but it just feels good. It just feels good to play. I miss tank controls, so it was nice having tank controls again, but still having modern contrivances that help make the tank controls not feel really bad, you know?
That's good.
Because like it has a thing where it's like, well, you have the 180-degree turn, which is really nice. But you also have a thing where like, if you point the camera at, or if you point your gun at something, it immediately pivots the camera around the shoulder, or like in a circle back around, so that you're front viewing where you're aiming. So you don't have to like be like, oh, a zombie's coming up behind me. You can like immediately aim at it, and then it will move the camera for you.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's just a really tight game. It's like 3 to 4 hours long, I think. Perfect length. I really didn't have anything bad to say about it, is how I feel. Like it's I'm not a huge nostalgia person, but I think it is neat to create a nostalgic celebration like that, in a way of like, where it's not cloying. It's just like, hey, I really like these things, and you can tell they really like those things, so they just made one of those. And it's a genre that isn't really like we have Signalis. That's like basically it for survival horrors in like the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, hey, you get to remember what it felt like to solve a silly little puzzle. There's a really cute part that I really like where you go into an office and there's a guy and he won't talk to you, and you just have to go around his office solving a puzzle or whatever, and you solve the puzzle, and at the end he's like, admit it, you loved it. You live for this stuff. And you just have to be like, fine, whatever. It was a fun puzzle, okay? And I liked that. Yeah, that's cute. I highly recommend that to anyone who likes those old Resident Evils or Silent Hills, because we don't get them. We do not get them.
No, we do not.
And it looks great visually, like really, really good. Really good PS1 low poly aesthetic.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I mean, we could probably just hit the big news story real quick. So last week we had those shutdowns that Take-Two did, like the Roll 7 folks. But this week Microsoft was like, "Oh, hey, give me a second, y'all. We're going to do something even more insane." And they shut down Arcane Austin and Tango Gameworks, who you may know as the creators of Arcane Austin most recently did Redfall. But they also did
the first Dishonored.
They did the first Dishonored, and I think the new Prey game.
Yeah, they did Prey.
Yeah.
Which everyone loves.
And Tango Gameworks, you may know as the folks that did The Evil Within and
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Tokyo,
of course, yes. Hi-Fi Rush as well.
Yeah, their most recent game was Hi-Fi Rush, yes, which was that shadow dropped game that came out and everyone loved it, and it was apparently pretty successful. But somehow not successful enough, I guess. So there have been statements and town halls led by such illustrious games people such as Matt Booty, who used to be a Midway guy, who's now like in charge of Xbox. He's like basically Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond's like second hand man. Basically, it's like Spencer, then Sarah Bond, then him. I'm pretty sure. But you know, he was just basically going out there and just being like, well, we gotta get money and we gotta look better to investors, and that's how we do it, and we need more money for more acquisitions so we could just keep buying studios and then shutting them down a couple years later.
I think a lot of people have talked about it, but I really think we're going to see just how bad the Activision buyout was for. I mean, we're already seeing people talk about how it's not Xbox anymore, right? It's Microsoft Gaming internally or whatever. I think that Activision buyout was like, obviously it will make sense monetarily, genuinely, as much as I hate to say it, just from like the concept of them selling data from like Candy Crush or something, right? That alone will like make them so much money. But it's the situation where it's like, why did you do that, Phil? Why did you buy Activision? Now everyone at Microsoft is going to be like, that's the most we've ever spent money on anything. So we're just going to like take full control.
Yeah, it's it definitely felt like they wanted to nab up Call of Duty for, Game Pass, and now it's already blowing up in their faces with these shutdowns, and I'm sure there's going to be more shutdowns later. Like, fucking Ninja Theory is not long for this world. Absolutely not.
I
know what you're going to say.
So many feelings I want to express.
I get it, but also just like,
yeah, we don't want to. That's insane. It's just they wasted that, right? Like,
yeah,
what are you doing?
Double Fine, yeah, they're probably also on the chopping block, which is fucking insane.
I wonder. My thing with Double Fine is, do you keep that as a trophy like Rare?
I mean,
where they're just floating in the background weirdly.
I mean, maybe, but Sea of Thieves is like pretty big.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves is big now, but I just mean like there was a good 15 years where they did nothing.
I mean, I think if they didn't have Sea of Thieves now, Rare would be gone. Like, absolutely. Even like I mean, like now they would be, because they would have been the trophy for a good while, just like I think Double Fine would have been back in the day. But now they are this. They're in this desperation mode of trying to make as much off of what they own as possible, and yeah, I could see them just shuttering all those things and just being like, well, we have Candy Crush, we have Blizzard, we have Call of Duty. We don't need anything else. That's we're making the most amount of money from all that stuff. We do Game Pass and we start charging more people for more of it. Like, there's already been a bunch of leaks that are saying that Game Pass is going to get a price hike, and they're going to have like a free tier with ads and like a bunch of other shit. And so, yeah, it's that the time has come. We all those years ago we said, oh yeah, Game Pass is the best deal in gaming, but there's going to come a day where it's no longer the case, and it's probably going to be in the next like 2 months that is going to be no longer the case. We are just
it's kind of already been like that, in all honesty. Like, they get like one good game every 3 months for like a new release or a newer release or something like that. But as someone who played a lot of Japanese or independent games on the PC version, at least, I think the Xbox one's probably still crazy good, right? But the PC one has definitely been like every month you get a removal notice and you're like, really, you're letting that get away? I think they just lost all the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, especially like all the work that they've put into that stuff. Like, I'll talk about it later. I've been playing Final Fantasy XIII, and that patch is fucking crazy. Like,
yeah,
that looks like a modern game.
To be fair, it always did, but yeah. Cleaning it up. Yeah, that's widescreen.
Yeah, they only had to clean it up a bit, but like still, like it looks brand fucking new.
It's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, people took this very poorly, especially fans of Tango, because yeah, Hi-Fi Rush came out and was a big hit, and people really fucking loved it.
And Xbox doesn't get those.
No, they don't get big hits like that. They don't get things that review as well as it did. Won a bunch of rewards. Like Hi-Fi Rush is literally like the perfect release for Microsoft. Like, it is a game that did not cost as much as a Call of Duty would have cost, and made a good amount of money and got them a bunch of awards and attention. And yeah, like, it didn't make $2 billion, but it's like a smaller thing.
It may
to
as
keep
well
people
have
interested.
like in terms of I don't want to say brand synergy, but like something like that, like
it's like attention,
reputation laundering.
Yeah. And then immediately they flush it down the toilet, and everyone's saying like, yeah, they were getting ready to pitch a sequel, and Arcane Austin was getting ready to probably make another Dishonored. and they were gonna update Redfall and do a bunch of stuff to try to fix it, even though, you know, I'm sure that they didn't want to make that shit. You know,
the one saving grace was knowing that, like, I mean, this is barely a saving grace, but it was knowing that, like, most people had already left Arcane Austin, like, in the years leading up to Redfall's release,
right?
Like, because nobody wanted to make Redfall, but it's like, why did I remember reading the reports about Redfall where it was like them saying, like, that when ZeniMax buyout happened, they were like, oh man, this is great. Like, Microsoft is going to come in and they're going to save us from Redfall. And then Microsoft was like, we love hands-off management. It's like, ah!
I bet you do.
Yeah.
Phil Spencer has been, like, completely silent.
I know.
Which
he knows
says
they'll blow him up.
Yeah, like he for the longest time he was like the face of the savvy good guy CEO, just trying to let artists make art, and not anymore. I mean, you know, like, who knows? Maybe this is something that he can't control because it's just Microsoft bullying everybody. But still, him not saying anything is a horrible look. And yeah, like, Matt Booty is just out there saying all this horrible stuff. Sarah Bond kind of got grilled a bit at a recent like conference, and she looked like a deer in the headlights. It's just not good right now for Xbox. And my current theory that they probably only have like one more console in them, and then after that they're probably just gonna put Game Pass on other things. That seems more, I mean, I would say that seems more likely, but even like right now, if we were to just take the information we have right now, I'd be like, are they making another console? Really?
Like, well, obviously they have to, because they probably already, like, you know,
they put the R&D in.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They have to recoup something, but I highly doubt they'll have another one after the next one.
No, probably not. I think people keep talking about how insane it is that they don't have a Steam Deck equivalent. Like, it really, I mean, like, that alone feels like it shows how, like, out of touch they are with like anything. It's like, you're the PC people.
Yeah.
I really don't know what Microsoft has been doing. It feels like it would. Nothing they do makes any sense is the thing that always gets me about them, and I guess that speaks to the larger, you know, corporate entity that is Microsoft. But it's just, like, so baffling watching them every year. Like I mean, it said earlier, like, they really did just say, like, we need smaller games that boost our reputation, and then they did this, like, immediately. Like, what?
Like, no, like they
that
said
was
that
after,
they closed Tango, and Matt Booty just straight up went, we need games like Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah, man, how bad do you need them?
It's just, it's happening across the industry, but it's just like, God, we need the executives to occur, because holy shit,
shareholders are evil, and answering to them only makes things worse.
They're not even, they don't even know what they want, is the thing about shareholders. Like, you don't even have to listen to them. They will just keep giving you money. They don't even know what's going on.
Yeah. They don't know shit. I'm still thinking about that time that that guy bought a bunch of Nintendo stock just to, like, ask them if they were going to make another F-Zero or something, or Star Fox. That like,
yeah, it was F-Zero, I remember.
Yeah. That is probably the most honest shareholder ever.
The most aware shareholder.
The most aware, yeah. Like, this person knows more than, like, every other shareholder combined. Just like, you know what? Maybe just do him a favor and don't listen to anyone else.
Yeah, he's the one wish you can grant this year.
Yeah. I guess real quick. So I mean, yeah, I'm jumping all over the place. I real quick, we'll just mention, because we were just talking about Nintendo. We got confirmation that the Switch successor is gonna happen. It is coming up within. Let me just see here. They said. Yeah, okay, here, I'll just read this tweet here, because Nintendo, whenever Nintendo announces something like this, they have their "this is blank" tweets, and those are just, like, the most insane.
This is Furukawa here.
Yeah, this is Miyamoto. I have taken control of the base. You have 24 hours to
Me and
meet my
Chris
demands.
have really been talking, and we really hit it off.
But this is Furukawa, president of Nintendo. We will make an announcement about the successor of Nintendo Switch within this fiscal year. It will have been over 9 years since we announced the existence of the Switch. We're going to have a Nintendo Direct this June regarding the Switch software lineup for the last half of 2024. And then they're not going to talk about the Switch successor during that presentation. So, yeah, this is pretty much what I was expecting. You know, once all these Switch 2, Switch successor, all this talk was coming up, once people were like starting to like, you know, actually get it seemed like people were starting to get dev kits and all that. Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be about the same thing as what they did with the Switch, where it was like, yeah,
the rooftop party.
They talked about it like October, November, and then they released it like the next March. So, yeah, I could see that all happening.
My take on this whole situation was like, I think Nintendo and I need Team Cherry to both do me a favor and do this before every time they're going to do a showcase, they have to come out and say like, there is no Zelda, get out of here. Something like Silk Song is not appearing.
Yeah. I mean,
I need some responsibility in the game space.
I mean, I don't know about for this June Direct, but it does seem like there's a chance that there will be Zelda in the future for the sequel console, because Midori's out there leaking shit.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, like she
I saw they said they weren't going to do DLC, so I wonder if it is just a patch or what it will be.
It's probably just a patch, because yeah, like a lot of leaks have been coming out about other games just getting like an optimization patch. Like the big one that everyone's hoping for, and God willing, is fucking Pokemon. Like, but yeah, I could also see them just being like, yeah, we bumped Breath of the Wild up to 4K. Here you go, buy it again, or pay like $10-$20 to update it for your Switch 2. Sure. Yeah, they didn't talk about what it was like, what it was going to do. I mean, all these rumors, all these people saying that they've like touched one to make accessories for it. They did the fucking the Dune box shit with it. You know, I mean, maybe it has magnetic Joy-Cons, maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
I pray to God it does not,
yeah.
Because they need to put Hall Effect in that thing, or so help me. I need anyone to care about stick drift right now.
Yes.
I've been dying. I bet you've been fine, because everyone are like, what, it's half and half amongst my friends. I've had to replace the goddamn DualSense twice since I got a PlayStation, because the stick just starts drifting. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with the DualSense, but my my first Switch started to drift, but that was around the time that I won that Switch OLED from Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel. So thanks, Konami. Konami replaced my
games. There we go. It's fine.
Konami replaced my Switch and basically bought me a laptop. So thank you, Konami. Was that when Yeah. That was the laptop.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean,
I remember this all now.
Yeah, they also kind of bought me my PS5 now that I think about it, technically, but I did spend my own money on that, because I bought a pack and I bought a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and it had a Starlight Rare in it, and I sold that for $500. So.
Oh yeah, right. God. Wow. Well.
But yeah, the laptop one was, I won a Twitter, like just like the Switch. It was just like a Twitter thing, because nobody enters them. Nobody enters their Twitter things, and they're like, oh, we have like 1,000 of these. And then only like 600 people enter, so everyone who entered gets one. And then all of a sudden, people are like, "Oh wait, no, I want to buy it off of eBay." So yeah, I can sell this for like $800. Okay, it's insane. But yeah, I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic. I think for the first time in my life, I'm sitting here looking at all these people being like, oh man, there's going to be a new console. That means there's a new Smash Bros. And I'm like, I don't want them to.
Please, no.
We don't have to.
I mean, you probably watched those Sakurai videos with me, right?
Yeah.
You've seen. those just made me go, the man needs to do something. We need him to do something that isn't Smash for the good of society.
Absolutely. Like he said that he's gonna finish his YouTube series this year and then he's gonna go back to making games, but who knows what that's gonna be? I would love for him to do something that is not Smash Bros. Absolutely. Like if they do make another Smash Bros, I would be happy to have him not involved. Like okay, here's the selfish part of me being like, I hope he at the very least like sticks his head in, just because I have played other platform fighters and none of them feel as good as Smash. So if they do another Smash Bros, I want him to just like put his hands on it and be like, okay, change this a little bit. I don't want him to be there every day. I don't want him to be playing two characters at the same time with two pro controllers. Just tell them how to do the physics and then you're done, please. But then like my second option is I just don't want them to do it because we're good. Like it's the
ultimate one. They made it, right? It's the ultimate
let me just slap Smash Ultimate into my Switch 2. Do a fucking 4K patch if you have to. I don't fucking care. We don't need it anymore. We're good. That's the ultimate one. It's well balanced. It's good. We're good, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't even know what I would want on Switch 2, like other than like
Kid Icarus Uprising.
Oh yeah, like if we're talking about like Sakurai stuff specifically, yeah, like
but just in general, like
a port of that or a sequel, yeah. And
Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Well, it sounds like they're gonna make X2, so
I'll take it.
I'll take that, and then like Metro Prime 4.
Let's
actually get that out, please. Because that has been like 7 years now.
They announced that like when the Switch came out.
Yeah.
And I know they restarted development. I'm not crazy, but like they made 3 Metroid Primes and Hunters and Pinball all in the same time.
I wouldn't be surprised if like it's basically done and they're just waiting for Switch 2.
Yeah, probably. Nintendo loves to do that recently, as we learned.
Do.
What Fire Emblem Engage was fucking done. They just released like all of that like hefty DLC within the span of a month because they were probably working on it for a year.
It was done. Like I distinctly remember like 4 or 5 months before that game came out, people were posting fucking like leaked screenshots from like the Chinese localization team, just being like, "Yeah, this is done. We're just wrapping up localization. They can ship it whenever." And it took them like another half a year.
Very odd.
It's really weird.
There were extenuating circumstances, but the fucking Advance War also just like very, very.
Mm-hmm. I do wonder if that game coming out when it was supposed to would have actually helped it though, because it sounds like it did not. I don't even think it broke 1 million copies, or like just barely did
very well.
So I mean, it's a shame.
There was hype leading up to it. They did the marketing thing, and then they just didn't.
Yeah. Video games.
So I think it's crazy that like, I mean, I have several problems with Nintendo, but it's like I feel like we're just seeing like Microsoft and Sony like eat it, and then Switch is just like, the other Switch 2's coming out, and people are like, okay, and then no one's like trying to kill them over it.
Yeah, it's there's people trying to pipe up and be like, hey, they've done all this shitty stuff with like hackers and all that.
Yeah, they sure have recently, but
which
it's
they
like,
have.
I feel like they get away with it, I guess is what I mean, more than anything. It's like Switch is able to just roll past like anything weirdly.
I mean, it's that thing where people are more ready to forgive you for things if they actually like you. you know?
I guess so. Yeah.
Because
let's see how we feel when we go 10 years without a 3D Mario game. We're already like 7.
Yeah, we are. Odyssey was so fucking good.
I still need to play it, so I've forgiven them for now.
So good, Rose. You gotta get on that shit.
I really like it. I think when it came out, or when I got access to it, I was in the middle of a Super Mario Galaxy 2 run, and I was like, oh, Super Mario Galaxy 2 is so good. I think I'm good for a while.
Mario Galaxy 2 is really good.
It's really good. They're all really good. That's the thing, right? Even fucking Sunshine is still good. I
don't think Sunshine is good, but that's okay.
I don't think it's great, but I think it has moments where you go like, oh, video games.
Yeah, like I could see where they were going with this one.
It's the worst really of fully. The bunch by a substantial margin, let's say.
Yes.
But what I mean is it's still satisfying a niche that only it can do.
That nozzle does love to go Mario.
Were you playing Rebirth, Final Fantasy VII at all?
I have not played it yet.
Okay, I just want to tell you, they put a chocobo that's flood in.
In that, it sounds like that, or it spits water?
No, like it spits water like flood, and you use it to like just launch yourself 5,000 feet into the air and just fly around like fucking Mario flood. And I think that's like one of the most fucked up things I've seen in a video game
that is recently. An extremely fucked up thing. I'll play that eventually.
Take your fucking time. Let me tell you, that is it's really good. It's just 1,000 million hours long.
Right. But I have been playing a Final Fantasy.
I have seen, yes.
I mean, I don't know. Should I do it in like chronological order here? Because I mean, I did Alan Wake 2 before that, but
I don't know. It's entirely up to you. Either one is it's fine.
I'll talk about Final Fantasy because it's like a little more on brand here. So yeah, so I've been playing Final Fantasy XIII, as I said. I'm playing it on the Series X, so it has all those fancy up-res.
It's like the only place that has that stuff too. Is what I was because. A big thing with the FF13 trilogy that people complain about is the PC versions are not very good. They were patched to being like okay, but like they're not even accessible on the PS4/5 at all.
Yeah, they never ported them or anything.
It's really quite odd, but I'm glad they have that thing on the Xbox at least because, like we said earlier, it's a good patch.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's probably like mods on the PC version that you can maybe I don't know. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that.
But
okay. Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to say like definitively. But I don't really like it.
Yeah, I didn't think you would be crazy about it. It's a divisive game for reasons.
There's a lot of stuff in it that I do like, but I just think it has a lot of problems overall that holds it back a ton. Like, I enjoy some of the characters. I like some of their dynamics.
You better like Saz.
I love Zaz.
Okay, thank God.
I also did grow to like his like dynamic with Vanille. Like at first, I was just kind of like, whatever. Like I get it. It's supposed to be like he's a dad and she's younger, so they kind of just. He just kind of fills the parental role, but I think over time and once they introduced more stuff, it became way more layered and it was way more interesting, and I liked that. But I like the combat in theory.
It takes time. The whole thing is like, I think I've said it over the years, but the problem with Final Fantasy XIII's combat is it's very good. However, it takes 30 something hours to be all right. Now go out and experiment and do things and build things, and you're just getting constantly thrown between different team setups because they lock the paradigms and stuff until like chapter 8, 7.
They don't let you swap characters in your party until I was 22 hours in.
Yeah,
which was chapter 8, chapter 9, something like that. Yeah, I'm not done with it. I'm on chapter like 9 or 10. I don't remember exactly, but like I haven't gotten to like the big open area yet that everyone has talked about. I think I'm like the chapter before that. But the music is fucking amazing though. Oh my god.
Hamazu did that one. Hamazu has been doing all the recent Final Fantasy stuff, and I think the man's been killing it. I think the man has been crushing it. He didn't do 15, and you can tell.
Okay. Yeah,
like
I mean, like
all the 7 remixes and everything. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that says a lot because those remixes are amazing. I mean, once I once financial obligations are no longer an issue, I mean, I'm probably gonna straight up just fucking order a CD of the soundtrack or something because I do really like it a lot. Um, but yeah, like my major problem is just the early on things. Like, I don't care about the corridor stuff, like, because I'm just sitting there, just like, this is just how old Final Fantasy is. Like, you're just walking around like these enclosed area dungeon type places. Like, that's just how an RPG is, an old style one. And there's some, just having it be all 3D, and then it makes you realize a bit more, just like, yeah, wow, like I could see 360 degrees around me, but I'm walking in one direction. It does kind of feel off, so I get the like initial first blush impression of it. But the main problem is, you're getting put into like duos so often, and that just doesn't let the combat really shine as well as it does when you have three characters. Because once you have three characters, it's like, okay, yeah, you can do, like a DPS, and then like you can have like the commando and the ravager do like their stuff and build up the meter. Then you have someone be a medic, or you can have someone do damage and then another person be a tank and draw them in, and then have someone like doing debuffs or whatever. Or like you can do all these different combinations, and that's cool. But when you only have two characters, you can't really do that as well, because you're just, I mean, like, you can do it, but you're just like swapping so often. And if you get into a fight with something that is even a teeny tiny bit too strong,
you're just locked into medic over and over. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and it's very frustrating. But I've finally gotten to the point where it's like, okay, I am using three characters, and like I did the big boss fight once you like rescue Zaz and Vanille. Like, I did that big boss fight, and I was like, no, this is like really fun because I am using all the different combinations. And like I think that is like literally when they allow you to swap your party around. Like, they give you a big room beforehand just to like do a bunch of battles to get used to that.
Yeah.
Which is very smart. I did like that a lot, that they were just like, yeah, here's all this big huge area, you can go straight to the boss if you want, or if you want to collect items, there's all these other paths you can take, and there's a bunch of enemies, you can fight them and you can level up a little bit more. Like, that was smart. And like the crystal thing, the level up stuff, that's fine. I think that's a fun way to do it. Weapons and accessories, though, like, another one of my big problems is that like I just don't I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with all of that. Like, I start leveling something up, and then I get like another weapon, and I'm just like, well, if I start to invest in this new one, it's gonna take like 5 times more, and you don't get like any money from battling enemies. And you get some drops from them, but the drops are so bad compared to the ones that you can buy from the shop. Like, it's like, oh yeah, no, you can use these like molted bat wings or whatever, and they add like 3 EXP to your weapon. Or you can hope that you have some money and then spend that to buy something from the shop, and that adds like 2,000 EXP. It's like, I don't know.
It's the type of thing where you really know, like I there's the big open area, so you're aware that exists. But the thing with the big open area is they add this thing called Titan's Trials or whatever, that's supposed to be like the post game, or like late game, post game, etc. Stuff you do, and it's like this thing where there are a bunch of enemies, and then you're fighting specific big bosses, and like I think there's like 60 bosses or something that they all set up with like cutscenes and everything attached to them.
Okay.
In that big open space, and it's like this idea of like, hey, like, you now have access to all these areas where you can get the materials, so it makes more sense. But the problem is, like, Final Fantasy XIII is the ultimate slow burn game of all time. Like, I think I can't even think of anything even comparable to it, where it's like, I mean, everyone's probably, you've heard it over the years. Like, it's just like, it really gets good once it gets good, but it's like, you really have to go. And it's like, more than any other JRPG I can think of, you really do just have to wait so long. But I think that's the problem with like people like me who really like it, right? Like, I'm aware of the complete package.
Right.
I'm aware of like what it's like, where it all went, and where like, what the intention is. But it's like, when you don't know any of that stuff, it just seems, and it doesn't even matter if you know that it's there. It is just incongruous with the way that early game is structured. of like the whole conceit is the game is so you're supposed to be running away, right? Like that's the whole thing. Like you're constantly on the run, so you're just like hallways, like hallways until it's big and opened up and you're not running away anymore type stuff.
Sure.
But it doesn't. But the thing is they designed the game around the part where you're not running away anymore, right? Like the systems are all built up to that point, but it's like you spend so long. That's something that the other ones don't have as much of a problem with. I think like you talking about like not having enough party members is a big thing, but it's like what the second game I think the second game you still have 3 people, but it's like it's a Pokemon game. So
okay.
You go around and you recruit monsters immediately, like instantly. So your third slot is always a monster and you just get a ton of monsters all the time.
All right.
And then the last game is you're just lightning the whole game, so the combat is complete from the get-go, right? Like
okay.
And you just switch. It's interesting. Both of those other games are interesting because I think they go in different directions of understanding people's complaints about Final Fantasy XIII. But I will say I think if you're enjoying that combat now, like it will just keep getting better. Genuinely, I don't think you have to worry too much about the weapon system. Really, that's my advice to you because it is a nightmare. Unless you're getting into all the end game stuff, in which case it will be fairly straightforward at that point. Because, like I said, big open area, lots of guys. But yeah, I think the part you've probably played it recently, so you'll remember this. The part that I always think of with Final Fantasy XIII is it's like I think it's pretty rough until you get to the turtle in the garden. You remember that where it's switching its elemental thing, and then you realize like how the combat system really works because you have to engage with it.
Yeah, I mean, I did like that boss fight. I would say that there were still moments after that where I was just
that's what I was going to say is semi-recently even I realized like it's like but the problem is that's inconsistent is it's like you have that moment and then you do just go back to you don't really need to worry about this again for a little while.
Yeah.
But now I think you're in the territory of it will be pretty consistent.
It's taken me a literal day's worth of time, but I'm getting to the good part of Final Fantasy XIII. I mean, I'm in it for the long haul. I bought 13.2 alongside because I just bought them off of like Facebook Marketplace. I bought 13.2 that day, and I say this slightly to apologize for being very, very slightly financially irresponsible. I found out I messaged someone like 2 weeks ago before I lost my job before I got fired asking about a copy of Spider-Man for the PS2, like the movie game. And dude was like, yeah, $10, sure. I was like, okay. And then he messaged me back yesterday, and I was like, oh boy, okay, yeah, $10, whatever. But then he posted a picture of like a bunch of other games and was like, do you want any of these? And then I saw he had Lightning Returns, so I was like, okay, sure, how much? And he was like, oh, another $10. So I was like, okay. So I spent $20 on Spider-Man and Lightning Returns, so I have all 3.
All right, well, I think, are you fine with Majora's Mask?
I've only played a little bit of Majora's Mask, but like I'm fine with it. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say because it's like Lightning Return scares people with its time limit thing, but I'm here to tell you immediately the time limit doesn't matter. It's like Majora's Mask where it doesn't matter. I
mean, I read what it was like, where it's not like exactly like Majora's Mask. I would say it's more like Dead Rising, and I love Dead Rising.
Yeah. Okay, so then you'll be totally fine.
There you go.
You'll be totally fine. I think you had some complaints about the story with 13, and I like the stories of 13, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you like it's going to get so much better or anything like that. I think 13 will get better over time. I think it has good character moments as it keeps going once they're all together, right? Kind of happen.
Yeah,
but
because that's part of it. Yeah, is that they're all split apart for so much of it, and like some of it shit just like happens. Like I still can't get over like Lightning and Hope's interactions. I'm just like the most bizarre part of that game was Lightning and Hope going off together, and Lightning basically just being like, I don't want to have to be responsible for a kid. Why don't you go back with them? Why don't you get lost? And then she just gets her Eidolon. She fights Odin and gets her Eidolon, and then she's immediately like, no, come with me now. You're cool.
Yeah.
Just like, what? Why? Huh? I don't know. I feel like a lot of this story is just a bunch of weird shit happening, and then like 10 hours later they explain why that happened, and then you're just kind of like,
okay.
Oh.
Well,
okay.
I will say it gets better with that in that regard, at least, I would say. I was gonna say, like, it still remains like fairly obtuse with a lot of stuff, or like extravagant, for lack of a better word, with a lot of stuff, but they are more linear, I guess, in the story aspect, at least. Like 13.2 13.2 is Chrono Trigger. Okay.
Okay.
You go around to a bunch of different time periods or whatever.
Okay.
And they all have isolated arcs, so it's
Sure.
pretty. And then I like Lightning Returns a lot, as you know. So
yeah,
I think 13.3 Lightning Returns is my favorite one of the three. I think it is the most interesting because it's sort of like there are zones, but it is realistically you are going to the character zone, you are going to the Saz zone, you are going to the Fang zone,
right.
etc. And I think that works really well.
Yeah, like I'm interested to keep going. Like I'm gonna probably play a couple other things before I get into the sequels, but
I would recommend that.
Yeah,
because again, they're just polishing the combat, right? They're doing like side grades and stuff like that. It's not necessarily, or like upgrades mostly, and it's not like you don't want to get burned out.
No, totally. But yeah, it's a very interesting game, but I'm still very perplexed by a lot of it. I'm just like, I don't. Some of it, I'm just like, yeah, I don't know why the hell they're doing this. Some of it, it's like, okay, I get why you're doing this, but it didn't really turn out very well. And some of it is just straight up good. So it's a mess of a game, I would say. I don't think it's like complete dog shit. I don't love it. I wouldn't even say I fully like it yet, but from what you're saying, I could see myself liking it by the end of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The problem is it's such a high investment, right? Like, I don't begrudge anyone like who's like, I don't really want to. Like, I tried to get Wheels into it like 5 years ago, I think.
And
it's like, yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
I mean, I think I was playing this at like the exact right time, because like if I didn't get fucking fired like 2 or 3 days, I don't even remember how long it was. If I still had a job right now, I probably would have dropped it. It's just like, yeah, like I've been able to just like sit, like I sat down like yesterday, I just played like a ton of it. And so now I'm getting close to the big moments. So it's like, okay, yeah, now I feel better about it now.
It was the second Final Fantasy that had a hellish development cycle, I think. Or just really long one. Because 12 was also a kind of a nightmare.
Yeah, it definitely feels like one of those things where... See, yeah, so... Yeah, like you're saying that 12 had a hellish development cycle. And it's like, 12 arguably turned out a bit better. I mean, they also did like the Zodiac Age stuff, and they updated it and fixed a lot of the problems. That's the
thing that helped it turn out better, let me tell you.
Yeah.
For sure.
But like, on top of that, that was also on hardware that they were probably way more used to, because they made, 10 and 11 and all that on there. 10.2
and
yeah.
Multiple spin-off games. The Bouncer.
And then 13 was just the new console. And I mean, that was the first time they were working on like Microsoft hardware too, right? Like I don't think Square Enix were really doing anything on original Xbox. So yeah, just a new frontier. And yeah, like I'm definitely not like fully deriding it. Like I'm fully just like, yeah, I get it. I get that this was made through harsh times and with new technology, and I get it. And so,
but like you're doing actual critique of it is the thing, right?
Yeah,
and that's sort of the thing that is devoid in many conversations about 13. I think that
totally
set people off.
And I mean the one thing that I'm like most upset about with this game is just that, like I was talking to some friends about it too a bit earlier. Just that I think this game's failure is the reason why Final Fantasy lost its whimsy.
Yeah.
Like 15 and 16 are just so gruff, and I mean I don't know if I'd call 15 like fully just like masculine, but I mean
It's very
16,
prestige, for lack of a better
yeah.
word.
Yeah,
Like
16 though absolutely has like a lot of machismo in there in good and bad ways. And so it feels like they took some of the like some of the wrong lessons from 13. It's like, nah, y'all just need to have a little bit better like balancing of gameplay and or like how the combat works and all that. Like that was really the issue with 13. It's not that you're playing as a girl, it's not that you're using ATB.
Yeah. It's not that it's linear either, honestly.
Yeah, it's not that it's linear, yeah.
It's like everyone loves FF7, and I'm gonna be honest, those are linear games. Like even Rebirth,
They're
with
linear games.
open world side content, is like that's still a game where you're just going in a straight line.
Yeah.
Like I kind of agree. I think it was that and the combination of them getting Dragon Quest in the Enix merger made them be like, well, that's the funny one.
Yeah. And like all the Final Fantasy,
and also Kingdom Hearts is there, so they're like,
yeah, and I think they're also putting a lot of the whimsy into 14, which like
that's definitely true. Yeah,
that's great for y'all that like MMOs. My ass is over here being like, all right, well, I guess I gotta learn Clive's story to see how different or similar it is to my own, because I'm not gonna be able to fucking cast spells with a goofy ass Moogle anytime soon. Well, I mean, you can in 7.
You saying that is like, I think it's really true. Like 16 is like this weird thing where it's like it is very iterative of the FF14 format, kind of just in a single player experience with like different gameplay, obviously. But like it has the structure, but it's just like because it doesn't have any of the like whimsy, to use your word, like it just ends up feeling insane.
And then we're gonna see what the fuck is going on with Dragon Quest.
Yeah, a Dragon Quest game for adults.
I still fully don't believe that. I think they're gonna walk that back. I think they're gonna
backtrack. Yeah, I think it's going to just be something like 11, probably. If they hadn't made that Dragon Quest movie that was already an isekai that everyone hated, I think it would be an isekai game. Is how I've been feeling recently.
I could see that,
but I think they already poisoned the well on that one.
Yeah. Man, what a weird fucking thing.
Everything with Dragon Quest is insane. That I haven't played much of it. I played a little bit of it. So again, there's 7 million games right now. But that Dragon Quest Monsters game came out and is like good. People liked it. And it's just like Square didn't even mention it.
I messed with the demo and it was pretty neat.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah. See, Rose,
Square Enix is a weird fucking company.
It is. Oh my god. One day they're making like banger after banger, and then like the next day it's just like, what are you people doing? And sometimes it's both at the same time.
Yeah. I feel like they're always making something that's good. It's just they're also like the quotient of bad to good is the most insane out of any company maybe ever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm kind of glad people were like doomsaying about them talking about canceling a bunch of projects that they were going on, but I'm like, listen, if this means they're not doing another Forspoken, I'm probably for the best.
Rose, do you want to talk about some other stuff that you've been playing, perhaps?
Sure. I have been playing. The main thing I've been playing recently has been the Stellar Blade video game for the PlayStation 5.
I am very interested in what you have to say about this game.
Sure, there's not. I'll probably say a lot, so I won't say much. But there's not much. That's funny to say. Obviously, this is like I don't even want to get into the stupid culture war nonsense with this game. So I'm just gonna talk about it like on its face, what it is. So it is a game that. So like Liza P loves Bloodborne, right? Liza P loved Bloodborne so very much, so they made a game that was like Bloodborne. This is that for Nier Automata, extremely. I don't think it's aware of the medium as much as Nier Automata. Like I think a thing that gets overwritten in discussions of Nier Automata and just Nier games at large is like the reason I like them is because Yoko Taro and that team know the medium of video games and they're always fooling around with it. So you have like, the jumps to in perspective, the jumps in what you're doing, the switch to visual novel segments, etc. Just really cool stuff. This totally doesn't get that, but instead it's fine because it's a very funny little character action game, and we don't get many of those. It's so the story is like whole, like, you know, whatever. Oh, the apocalypse happened, I think, 70 years before this. Humanity was already like in a cyberpunk megacorp style situation, and they had started colonizing other planets, and then something happened that made Earth just get fucked with like giant meat monsters everywhere, like a Resident Evil situation. So everyone just sort of left and went to space, and most people live in space. But they still send down robot women to go down to Earth and fight all the meat people. And there are some people left on Earth, but it's like they're mostly like half robot type people who are just holed up in one city, having tragic near side quests happen to them all the time. It's a character action game, right? You just have one weapon, which is, I would say, the biggest disappointment with this one. I think if there was a second weapon, I think it would help a little. So it's a lot like Sekiro in that regard, of like you're just leveling up your sword and getting moves for your sword. And then there's like sub weapons with like you upgrade a gun and stuff, but it's mainly just sword based combat with parry stuff. So I like it because I like parries a lot. And the combat doesn't really get old because I think the animations are really good, which is the main thing you should focus on in a character action game. And there's a lot of flips and stuff like that. You got a devil trigger. You got all the stuff you would want. And you basically just go around in... The thing is, you can tell it's Nier Automata because it's like 3 open world maps that you go around. And I think that's the only part of the game that I'm sort of like, about, is like... I think they make it work because the gameplay is so good, and it's very... They're condensed open world areas, so it's like a lot of like finding the secret path and then going there and like figuring out like small pieces of it together, but it is still an open world thing. So if you don't like doing the fetch quests where you have to run across the desert, pick up an item and go back, you might get annoyed by that. But the linear parts are where it's really good, I think. Like if it's making me think like I wish this was just a straight on like Ninja Gaiden type game, where you just go from level to level, because it does this thing where it has like a game that it's clearly riffing on for each linear sequence.
Okay. So
there was a part where they lock your sword and you go inside and you can only use your gun. And it was just Dead Space. Like straight up. Like it was like solving puzzles with like arrays, and then like shooting like meat monsters who are on the wall who are like shooting out the little pods like Dead Space at you, and you have to shoot the glowing yellow orbs on their body to make them fall apart. And then like the thing that really made it Dead Space the most was that you go into a room and it's like decontamination in progress, and then they all start busting out of the vents to attack you. And it's like, this is insane. And they sort of do that like all the time, like just, hey, this level's like this Devil May Cry 5 level. This level's like this and that. And I honestly appreciate it because it's like those games are good. So if you're going to like understand what made those games good and just like do an homage, as it were, by all means, go for it. But part of the problem with those is like it does mean the game has a weird lack of identity in the early goings. Because you just... Liza P was able to get away with being Pinocchio right from the get-go, right?
Right.
And you go, oh, wow, this is Pinocchio. That's insane. Why is this Pinocchio? This one, you just go like, yeah, I get it. You like Nier Automata, right? And they're not really doing anything with the story for a really long time to like make you go like, okay, like, I see where you're going with this. That's interesting. They kind of telegraph like all the major twists in a way that you can pretty figure out. But I'm in the last like third of the game now, and I think like the story has gotten a lot better. There's like, and the side quest writing has too. There's like this energy that's like, I don't know, like the first part of the game, they just finished it and then they moved on, and then they really worked on like the second half, because there's all of a sudden like a ton of character injected into it. Like Eve's the main character. So like I was immediately trepidatious going in of like, the main characters are Adam and Eve. Great. but it's like that doesn't mean anything. That has nothing to do with anything that's going on. They just did that, whatever. But Eve has like this really great characterization as the game goes on, where she starts out like super just normal robot girl, whatever, like just talking like, I love fighting because I'm a soldier robot, blah blah blah. But then like later on, it's like they have fishing in that game, so she gets addicted to fishing. And then they open up like quests related to fishing where she just gets to like react and be like stoked about fishing and be like, you mean fishing has a purpose? Like stuff like that. Like she's just doing fishing for fun, and then like you find an NPC who will buy your fish, and she's like, people would buy my fish? I've just been what? This is insane. And then like I really like a conversation she has with that fish selling NPC, because she sells the fish to me and she says, I really thought you were a freak just standing here all this time in the city, but you are actually a good person because you'll buy my fish. And it just gives you this like insane energy of like, what's wrong with this girl actually? And there's some funny things like the quest, they have a quest board that you do, and those are for like more minor things like go pick this up while you're out in the wasteland or whatever. But there's like little tiny things, like she leaves a message in response to all the quests. So like there'll be one that's like, can you find my husband lost in the desert? And like, guess what? You're going to find him dead in the desert, probably, because that's the kind of game this is, right? But you like get it, and then she'll just like be like, sorry, but I think your husband died, ... My condolences. Thanks for the money. It's just like, what? Or she'll like, there'll be like a request that's like, someone's been destroying all of the boxes in the city. Why are you destroying all the boxes in the city? And it's like, obviously that's supposed to be like a joke about you doing it to like break boxes for items. And then it's like, she'll just like, you'll hit the accept button and she'll be like, better deny that one.
That's cute.
And there's just
that's
like
good. Yeah.
there's like cute little things like that, and it like, it's like, oh God, I wish this was in the first half of the game, because you just get this like really dry, like, yeah, we get it, you like Nier Automata type stuff, where Nier Automata doesn't have that problem, right? Because 2B and 9S are immediately talking all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a good game that I think the sequel will be way better if they make another.
Okay.
I think like if this studio makes another game, I think it'll be like crazy good, because this game is like super polished. Like all the combat feels really good. There's nothing that makes you go like, that feels weird or that feels unnecessary. It's just like everything has its purpose and like sort of exists. You do a lot of puzzles in it, which I wasn't expecting, which I honestly like just stuff like, oh, this robot's hidden here. You have to like find this, or you have to move these crates onto certain pads to do a math equation or whatever. It's just a cool game. I think like the first half of the game is just so weird also, because it's like, the main thing with this game is the woman is a horny robot woman design.
Yes.
The early outfits definitely reflect like the grim dark future of horniness in a way of like, they're all like Twitter meme outfits. Like, the dress with no back, etc., or the sweater with no back, there was this really bad one that really just gets me of like, it's a hoodie cut in half on her top, and then she's wearing a bodysuit, but the bodysuit is cut to expose the midriff and the underside of her boobs, her entire side of her legs and hips, and then also her inner thighs. And it just makes you go like, can you calm down? Like,
yeah.
Character designer. And all of the early outfits are like that. They make her look like insane. Like they're all like have a bunch of exposed skin in weird places that just like really rub you the wrong way. And then after like you get like, I think like the 13th outfit, it's just nonstop actual fashion bangers. Like you get like by that point you also get the option to like put on glasses and change your hair and do all this stuff, and it's like every design is better than her default design by like a substantial margin, or like the first 10 outfits you get. And it's just like, this is so weird. It feels like the first half of the game was like a proof of concept that they made up and then like never fixed or something. Almost. It's just so incongruent. I think it's a good game. That's my main point overall. Like, I don't think it's like I think people give it 7, 8 out of 10s. I think that's about right for it. Like,
Mhm.
The story especially is not going to blow you away, but it does like novel stuff every now and again, and it looks really good visually. Like, it's crazy how well it runs and how well it looks. Like, I have it in the performance mode, but like it looks so good in that it doesn't really matter even. And it's only 30 gigabytes.
Jeez.
Which is like I was talking about that with the Animal Well earlier. That's like crazy to me, because like The Last of Us 2 is a game that's like, I would say looks worse than this, and that's like 100 something. You know, like I feel like we need to learn from these people, at least in that regard of like, how do you compress your game? What's going on out there? I think this is cool. I think this is the one I'm going to tell you, John, for example. I think you would like parts of it, but play it when it's like $20.
That is exactly what I was planning to do, because yeah, like I saw some people saying that it was kind of Soulsy, and I was like, meh. But everyone else that I've heard from made it sound like something that I would actually be interested in. So yeah, I'll probably get it like later this year once it's cheap.
Yeah, it's fun. It's been a nice reprieve of us. Like I've always say this, but we don't get any character action games like ever, so I have to take what I get. And I'm glad that this one is at least okay. I wish it was a little more complex. Like I said, like maybe one more weapon, but it still has enough going on. Like, you do the parries, you have perfect dodges, you have, Royal Guard type reprisal moves. So it's like they know the right games to take things from, even if they're making a more streamlined experience.
Any other games that you wish to discuss, or should we get through the rest of the news?
I can talk about this real quick, just because there's genuinely not much to say about this. I played the Crab Dark Souls game, another Crab's Treasure. That one is very Dark Souls, so I don't think you would like it in that regard. But I think you would appreciate that it is also just a Dark Souls game combined with a like PS2 3D platformer licensed game in a way that's like insane. I'm like halfway through that game, I think, roughly, maybe a third. But it's like they combined the fucking SpongeBob games with like a Dark Souls game. I really appreciate that you get abilities for what shell you're wearing, but it's like the shells are so expendable that they want you to be switching them all the time, which I think a lot of games that do durability mechanics miss. Like, I think Zelda, that's actually the reason why people don't like the durability in Zelda, is it's like, A, the weapons all feel the same, and B, you can end up in a situation where you don't have any of them, and you're like, fuck. Whereas this game, there's always shells on the ground everywhere you go. So it just feels, it's like a reward, you know? It's fun when you make the mechanics a reward instead of a punishment. So that's cool, because it's like you get a shell that like lets you shoot beams out, or you get a shell that lets you like get a parry thing, or you get a shell that just like heals you, or you get a shell that lets you roll around like a bowling ball and slam into people. It's just a goofy game. More people could stand to learn to make their game goofy. That one's on Game Pass, by the way, if you as a good example of them getting one game every couple months.
Yeah, you could take a look at it and it won't completely kill you.
Yeah, it's fun. I think my only complaint is, I think Northern Lion, there was a Northern Lion clip talking about this. I am very sick of the indie game style of writing where they're like, we hate capitalism, get it? Haha. It's like, all right, are you gonna like talk about it though? Like, are we actually going to have a discussion about this, or is this just a joke? Like, it's kind of exhausting after the 30th game in a row.
No, I getcha.
And this game definitely has that, of like, a lot of it is also like on the verge of like, for lack of a better, I keep saying for lack of a better because I'm always struggling with these words, but like genuinely like, like heckin' doggo type talking. It's like encroaching on that domain sometimes in a way that's scary, but it's never quite that bad. It's just like you read a sentence sometimes and you're like, But they did something very funny in that game, actually. That's my last thing I'll say about it. They made lobsters into like knights riding on horses. That's
pretty good.
Like, from a gameplay contextual standpoint, like they just like do horse noises and horse like stomping effects for lobsters since they're just have the long back, and I think it's really funny.
That is really good. All right. More news. So, Microsoft shot themselves on the foot. So Sony has to also, keep up the pace. They were shooting themselves on the foot last week, but now they're like, no, we will not be one-upped. So after the whole Helldivers 2 incident, Ghosts of Tsushima, which is getting a PC port, is now getting delisted from those same countries that were also going to run into issues with the PSN sign-in. So, yeah, no idea when that'll change, but yeah, it's pretty much those exact same countries that were unable to make PSN accounts. They removed it from Helldivers, but it seems like they didn't. They didn't do it for Ghost of Tsushima, so I don't know.
The super weird thing about this is that like Ghost of Tsushima does have a multiplayer mode, so they could have just made it like you have to have this to do the multiplayer mode or something like that or whatever, right? But then like it's just no, you just can't buy it. Very odd. I know that there's a thing recently. Did you see the stuff about Steam in Vietnam?
No. I did real quick. I will just say that like that a Valve rep fully revealed that the delisting was from Sony, not from them, not from anyone else. Like the Helldivers got delisted because Sony made that decision. So they also made the decision for Ghost of Tsushima. It seemingly.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it is related to this thing though of Steam has been removed from Vietnam. I think they blocked it in Vietnam because they wanted Steam to actually pay taxes and use Vietnamese currency, which they already did, but that would require them to like sign legal agreements and do things and like actually give money back to Vietnam in any way. So I've been wondering if that's what's happening in a lot of these countries, and Sony getting ahead of that and being like, well, I don't want to deal with that.
Jeez.
I imagine the whole reason they're doing the PlayStation thing is almost assuredly some of that epic Fortnite Apple stuff, right? Of like they want to get people into the PlayStation ecosystem and then they buy the Helldiver credit through the Sony ecosystem, right? That's probably where they're going with it.
Totally.
But it's just like, how are you this stupid? I'm sure Scott and Lorelai talked about this in last week's episode, because I think all of this update stuff was happening with the Helldivers then. But it's like, genuinely, how are you this stupid? How are you this dumb? How are you this bad at this?
Bad.
It's just like I think a lot about how like a lot of websites, how they skirt around the legality of things is they just do you're in other country account, like you don't fit into the whatever the 40 countries we have on our list, so you hit other, and then they just let you make an account that's based on other nebulously.
Yeah.
Like, how do they not just do that for this?
Oh yeah.
It's just so silly.
But speaking of silly, but in a better way, I would say, Hades 2 dropped very suddenly. So other roguelikes are other indie games, other roguelikes are very understandably a bit shaken. They don't want to have that game step on their toes, which is understandable. So the folks that are making the roguelike Prince of Persia game known as Rogue Prince of Persia, Evil Empire, who also made Dead Cells, have said, well, it was supposed to come out on the 14th, which I think is like about when you're going to be listening to this, like the day of, or the day before, or the day after, or whatever. But they just straight up said, hey, Hades 2 came out, so we're just going to delay this game until later on in May, so people actually buy our game.
Yeah, I like that that's a thing people have been doing recently. I think what they did it for Cyberpunk. Something happened with Cyberpunk, I remember, but I know they just did it with FF14 for the fucking Elden Ring DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Where they were like, we're doing a week later. It's just like we're not in the Elden Ring week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me just there's the exact quote here. I mean, yeah, they did a yellow box announcement, like, to make fun of the Cyberpunk announcement too.
Uh,
Well, yeah, they're just like, seeing as everyone and their mum is playing Hades too, including our entire team and their mums, we decided to let people have their fun with it before we release the Rogue Prince of Persia. We'll be releasing in May, and we'll be back with a precise date on Monday. So the day after we record this is when they're going to actually announce the release date. But yeah, they were just like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. We're not crazy. We don't have that much pride that we're gonna stand up to one of the biggest game releases of the year. We're gonna wait a little bit and let people. Yeah, we are not prideful enough to ignore the implications of that. Is the exact quote.
I love that quote.
So bless them. I'm sure it'll be like, Dead Cells is good. I'm sure Rogue Prince of Persia will be good. So, we'll see how it shakes out.
I want to see how Rogue Prince of Persia is at launch, because Dead Cells was very much a game that, like, I know a lot of people liked it when it came out, but I remember back then I even wrote a thing about like all the problems I had with its balancing and stuff like that. But they ironed those out over like years of it being out. I think the last update for Dead Cells is coming out in like a couple months, I think. Of them
I thought
being
the Castlevania one was the last one.
No, they have an update called The Last Update that I think is supposed to come out like fairly soon. That was like a big DLC thing, but they've added things since then. I think they gradually figured out like how to balance the numbers and do things for a roguelike and a Castlevania that made that game like way more normal nowadays. And I'm curious to see if we run into that or if they just start anew, because sometimes I feel like you get these games that get sequels or like, follow-ups games from a thing, and then they just repeat the same mistakes again, and you have to go through the whole cycle. But hopefully, no. I mean, I mentioned it being Prince of Persia. I wonder how much itemization there will even be in it necessarily, because those games aren't exactly games where you get loot or have different weapons to a substantial degree. Yeah, I'm glad they moved it for the sake of their developers. Good on them.
I mean, they full on said, like, yeah, we're going to have some more time to crush some bugs, and the day one patch is probably going to be a little smaller now because we won't have to jam a bunch of stuff into that. We might be able to just ship it with some of the fixes. So there you go. Yeah, it's nice to have a little bit more time to work on stuff, and it's nice to not bump heads with the competitors as hard.
In general, I think we could stand to. I mean, the problem is I feel like the last year has been so packed that I can't just rightfully say, like, I would have loved it if those games that came out on May 9th would have spread it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I would like it kind of more spread out, because I feel like this summer there's not going to be a lot of games in the summer, right? There usually isn't. And it's like, what if we...
You say that.
I say that and then something will happen, I know, but... And I'm scared at the end of this year so much.
Yeah. To round this off, I did finally play all the way through and finish Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
It was really good.
It's really good. I remember telling you when you were writing your thing, I was like, if you like these themes in Alan Wake 1, buddy.
They keep going with it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about it too much on here because I think we've fucking gone it, like, everyone's collectively gone in on Alan Wake 2 a lot over the past like couple of months. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's got the best combat of a Remedy game. Straight up.
I'm torn because I do like the combat of Alan Wake 1 more, but I'm a sicko. But it is definitely like it works the best for the game. I think they balanced it the most for sure compared to Control.
Control has so many good ideas, and I love a lot about it, but it needed a little bit more polish. Like, I bet Control 2 is gonna be incredible.
Yeah,
like that is my bet. Is once they get that all sanded down for Control 2, that's gonna be good. But Alan Wake 2, holy shit.
it's the type of thing where it's like I dread overhyping it to someone, but it's like also like it will live up to it. It's the thing.
It does.
I feel like it's just really, really good. I love how they were able to just like, you can tell with that game specifically how much they love the Twin Peaks reboot series, sequel series, whatever. But they make it their own. They make it their own entirely. They execute on it with their own themes, their own ideas, their own medium. It's so good. I love the writer's room. I love Saga's mind place.
I love those so much. I love whenever you go into the writer's room as Alan, he looks like he's ready to jump out a window.
Yeah.
Like, it's so fucking funny. Like, he's just like he's got the most like sunken shoulders, and he's just like, I gotta go and change the world with my ideas now. Okay.
I love everything about the Alan parts is so good. I love all the enemies saying, Alan, wake, Alan, wake.
Yeah,
Alan, wake.
So
it's
good.
So good. But then the Saga parts being just like normal Alan Wake mode, sort of. It's just like, you just have this great dichotomy.
It's so perfectly balanced. Like, oh my god, I'm just like, it's a pretty long game, and I'm still just like thinking about like all that, like none of that time is wasted. All of it feels earned. Every like I can't think of like any major complaints with that game. That is absolutely the best thing Remedy's made so far, like without a doubt. It's so good. We should do questions. Yeah, sure.
What else can you say about Alan Wake 2? It's so fucking good.
It's so good.
You know what the best part was to me? Was the end of chapter songs. Mwah. Oh,
very
beautiful stuff. The one that they got from Poe, where it's the first thing she's made in like 20 years.
Yes.
And they hired her specifically for this game to make a fucking song that is a spiral and not a loop in terms of the way that the lyrics work. Geniuses. When you find normal Sam Lake, who is different from Sam Lake the character, like Sam Lake the actor in the Alan Wake world, and he talks like normal Sam Lake. He goes, oh no, you better not stab me with that knife that is over there in the corner. That would be so bad. It's just like, how
they shot an entire short film starring Sam Lake, and it's legit good.
And you get to sit there and watch it on a fake movie screen.
The whole fucking thing. It's so good.
Remedy is the GOAT. What Alan Wake taught me. Is just like, I always have appreciated all their games. Like, I loved Alan Wake 1 when it came out so much, and I love Max Payne, and I love Control, etc. But it's just like, they are, more than anyone, are the people where they take so long between their games because there's the craziest thing you've ever seen, that it's like, by the time it rolls around, it's like, oh, I'll be excited for that for sure. And then I play it and I'm like, that's the best thing I've played all year. Like, that's the fucking best thing I've played in like 4 years.
Yeah. All right. If you want to send in a question, you can send one in anytime to gamesline.tumblr.com/ask. You'll sound like this. Anonymous asks, if you had donkey YouTube money, you could throw at an indie game in development for years that hasn't found a publisher yet, which one would it be? I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't pay that close attention to indie games. Like, when they're out and people say they're good, then I'm like, okay, I'll check that out. But I'm not like following I'll follow like a developer too. Like, if I play something and I end up liking it, then I could follow them around. But if it's like, yeah, this is something that hasn't come out yet and this is their first game, like I don't really keep up with that. Maybe I should. I wouldn't really know where to look. So, if that might be something I might have to ask for some guidance on. But I mean, my answer is just, if I had millions and millions of dollars, I would force YSS Playground to make fucking Team Ladybug make Toho Luna Nights 2 instead of just making a joke about it on Twitter for April Fool's Day.
Just destroying your heart.
Yeah. Bastards.
My easy answer would just be that I would go to Team Cherry and I would force them to do that thing I said earlier and say, I'm going to give you money if you just please, every time there's a Nintendo Direct or an Xbox event or a PlayStation event or anything, you need to put out a tweet that says, we're not there. I don't care if they release the game immediately. I just need them to say, shut up. But actually, I probably the one game I would really want to force a publisher onto to force them to release the game is that Radio the Universe game. If you ever heard of that,
I have not, but
it was a Kickstarter game from like 2014 that is still not out. They finally had a demo at the Steam Next Fest at the end of last year. And it's a game that looks really good. It's probably going to be really good. It's like a Hyper Light Drifter type situation of game. So it's like this, send up for a concept, but then also like its own original ideas and aesthetics that looks really good. But it is a solo developer and they are a perfectionist. So I would want to be a publisher that goes in there and I says, no, you have to release the game like soon. Like you can't just keep doing like this is going to come out and it's going to be like a 7-hour game and it's going to be great. But it's like, you needed to spend 10 years on it. Really? We needed to spend 10 years on it.
Yeah.
Just in general, I think a lot of solo developer situations like that, you do kind of need the outside influence to be like, no, get out of your head. Get out of your head now.
I mean, like if I'm going to be full benevolent mode, I would try to like figure out some kind of fund that you would just pay like very, very small indie devs to just make stuff that, wouldn't really stuff that I wouldn't even normally like care for or even like want to play, but that other people would want to play and would want to see and like, wouldn't normally get a push from a publisher, big or small. Like there's a bunch of stuff on itch and all that where I'd just be like, hey, you know what? This person's just trying to make something extremely personal. I'm gonna give them a couple $1,000 just to be able to live a little more comfortably while they're making their personal thing. Like, sure.
Yeah. But don't let what's his name make more Shenmues.
I will not do that. I will do whatever the opposite of that is.
We have to take money away from him.
Yu Suzuki will get no money from me. Neither will I mean, like, none of the fucking, like, ex-Sega big heads are gonna get anything from me. We don't need any more Balance. We don't need any more Shenmue. I mean...
I would have loved to... Yeah.
I'll give Yu Suzuki more money if he makes another Air Twister, actually, now that I say that. I haven't bought that game, and I feel like I need to, but... That shit is insane. Just being like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna make a Space Harrier spiritual sequel, and we're also gonna have the soundtrack be this like 80s Queen ripoff. It's bonkers.
I had forgotten about it until you said the title, and then I was just like, man, Air Twister.
Yeah, remember that fucking trailer? And everyone was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it looked insane. It looks insane. I should just say it looks insane.
I don't even know if it's good. I've never seen anyone actually talk about that game.
I've seen one person talk about it in my whole life, and they were like, that was a game.
That's believable. Just that it just exists. That's very believable.
I mean, it's Apple Arcade, right? Or I don't even know if it's probably on other things.
They ported it to other shit. The reason why I think about it still here and there is guess who buys it and shows it off on Facebook? The fucking Switch collectors people. They'll be like, yeah, I found this for $3 somewhere. Add that to the collection. I'm just like, okay, I bet.
I actually this is related to recent news. I actually have another game I want to say that I would take control of, not to like finance, but to stop. I would have stopped the Bloodstained people from fulfilling all their Kickstarter goals.
Oh my god!
Since they just finished that this week.
So fucking funny.
They said the publisher said that they're working on Bloodstained 2. Like,
I believe
that's a thing that's going to happen, but it's like, imagine how much faster that could have happened if they didn't have to make versus mode.
Yeah. That nobody's ever going to play ever. That's gonna
netcode. They had to make online netcode for versus mode and an insane roguelike mode for a Castlevania game.
That's gonna be a secret game at Evo one year. That's gonna be.
Yeah. I would love to see that on us, like unironically, genuinely. I think that would be really funny.
No, I mean we need some like real stupid like game. We need people playing fucking Star Wars Episode 3 versus mode at Evo. Yeah, that's the kind of shit we need to be doing.
I don't need to see Ryu ever again. I need to see Anakin Skywalker and what he's doing.
Xenogears versus mode in at Evo.
We need to see the Luvia Infinite Loop in unlimited codes on the big screen.
It's damn true. It's damn true.
Yeast versus Trails. Let's go.
Let's do it. Avian Crystal asks, you're the narrative director of Assassin's Creed 15. What are you going to do with the series?
15? Fuck.
I mean, so here's the thing. They say that, and so my initial reaction is just, is that just the next game? Like, are we on 15? Or how many have there been?
I assume 15. Let's think this, okay? Assassin's Creed 1, okay? Assassin's Creed 2. And then 2 more Ezio games, so that's 4.
Okay, I'm pulling up the Wikipedia page because there's probably like an actual like count of how many there are.
And then there's 3, and then there's 4, and then there's
history.
Rogue, and then there's Unity, and then there's Syndicate, and then there's the 3 open world ones.
If we are only counting mainline entries,
okay,
we're not counting spin-offs, then Mirage was 13.
Okay.
So we're literally just talking about not the next game, but the one after.
Okay. I mean, we have to, right? Because we already know the next one's the ninja one, right? Jade or whatever.
I mean,
Red? I don't even remember.
I don't know, but is this just asking like where we would set it, or
what
like
would we do? I guess in general, like broadly speaking, like what would you do?
I don't know. Like I don't know the lore anymore. Like I know that there was like the Desmond guy, and I think he got killed eventually, or so. I don't even know. Like I don't know. I know that they basically made like Ubisoft the in-world like villains at some point too, which is kind of funny. I don't know. I mean, if you put me in charge, it would probably just end up like that fucking Blood Dragon cartoon where I would just be like, yeah, if we're gonna put Ubisoft in as the villain, then Ezio needs to team up with Rayman to stop the evil, because that seems like what they would do. But not really. I have no fucking idea. Yeah, Rose, you actually play Assassin's Creed.
I'm a little behind, but yeah. Let me think about this. First of all, we need to go back to like doing the Desmond stuff, but not with Desmond necessarily. But like they've been trying in recent games to do that, but you can tell that their heart's not in it. We need someone who's invested in having the modern day story, because it is such an afterthought that they feel forced into doing when they clearly just want to do their little historical fiction thing.
Right.
But I think the strongest points of those early games are genuinely like the mix and match parts. Like there's that part in Assassin's Creed 1 where Desmond gets out of the Animus at the end and he has eagle vision now. Because he's been doing all that stuff. And then in Assassin's Creed 2, he's able to do Ezio parkour because he's been doing so much of it, right? And it's just like,
sure,
that's so cool. That's such a cool concept to do for a video game. And like, that should have gone to Assassin's Creed 3. He's full on assassin moded, right? But they didn't do that. They were cowards. I would want to get back to doing that. Maybe you can start from scratch, but maybe you can accelerate the process, right? Because everyone's familiar now with it. Maybe you can just be like, you do one game, and then at the end of that game, that person is ready, and then you have a game that's half and half or something. Because I do end up feeling like a lot of these Assassin's Creed games have a story that like, this works well as half of a game, and then, but you spend the whole game inside of that game. Like Origins has that problem, even though I really like it, of like, the open world fluff is so unnecessary that it would just be like a lot tighter if it was like, hey, you're doing this, and then in the modern day, you're doing this. I just think a focus on the modern day is important. I think it's what made that series cool, and they moved away from it in favor of being like, we did our historical research. When obviously they did do their historical research, but they're never not just going to be like movie magic ass version of in a zone, right? Like it's never not just going to be like, yeah, this is Italy, and then there's like a gondola going by. Like that, they lean into the cultural pastiches, and that's fine. But they need to have something else, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And also make the games 30 hours long again, not 90.
Yes.
I honestly also think we need to go back to Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, where Ezio buys 1 million swords from stores, and all of the swords barely function differently, but you just have a bunch of swords, and you're just constantly pressing right on the D-pad to pull out a new sword every so often, just for kicks. Just for the hell of it.
It's for dominance, you know? You're just like, yeah, I got another sword. What are you going to do about it?
You have like 17 swords, and then also you press the left bumper button to make your assassin jump down from the rooftop and stab a guy in the middle of combat. Like that was what it was all about. We need to go back to that. Okay, yeah, also more playing as a grandmaster of the assassins and not just a weird outsider, which is what all the recent games have been. The Valhalla, you're not even an assassin. You're just hanging out with them. Assassin's Creed 4 was the same way, where you just steal an assassin's outfit. Get back to it. Get back to the weird order stuff.
And to round this off, we have a question from Cello Buster, who asks, are you excited for the Gollum movie?
I'm torn on this one.
Listen, we were all so excited for a Gollum game, and we knew it was going to be bad, but we didn't know how bad it was going to be. Gollum movie? I have no fucking idea what's going on. Like,
at least it'll be like 2 hours long. I don't even know that. I can't say that. It's a Peter Jackson movie.
It's being produced by him.
Yeah.
It's being directed and written by Andy Serkis.
That's the part that makes me go, this might be the most amazing thing.
Tentatively interested in #Gollum movie. Because, like, I don't know what the hell. I know the story Lord of the Rings. That little bastard got burnt up in the volcano. What are they hunting for? His ghost?
Maybe he's invincible.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah. Either he's invincible or they're trying to find his ghost. Either way, now I want to see it. Or is it, like, about them trying to find him before the events of The Hobbit?
Presumably... Which is, if it's like, so listen, if they're like, what if they start and they show Gollum jumping in the volcano and then it rewinds and it's like, that would be stupid if that happened, right? And then,
man, it'd be a bad idea if I tried to eat that guy's finger. Anyway,
I shouldn't do that. And then you just see his continuing adventures.
Yeah,
he's like Lion King 1.5, but with Gollum.
He's just pissed. He's like, fuck this. I'm going home. And it's just like a road trip movie, just like of just him just going home, just going back to the cave all pissed because he doesn't have his ring anymore. And like Legolas is like,
you just want to see Gollum pissed.
Yeah, and then like Legolas is like trying to find him because he's like, you know what? Yeah, maybe we were too mean to him. I just picked Legolas randomly. I don't know. I feel like a bunch of people are saying that it's going to be about Aragorn for some reason. I don't know why. They were like, yeah, it's going to be about Aragorn hunting for Gollum, but okay. Is Viggo Mortensen going to break more of his toes? Is that what's going to happen? Is that what we're doing in this one? I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't know anything about what's going to go on. Like, I love the Lord of the Rings movies. I love those movies. But yeah. I have no idea what they're going to do after that. Like, especially with how bad The Hobbit flopped.
I was going to say, the first one wasn't very good to begin with, but man, those later Hobbit movies, I have never seen a soul even bring them up in a Star Wars prequel rehabilitation way.
I mean, maybe after Gollum movie is the worst thing in the world, they'll get rehabilitated. I don't know. But right now, nah. Whenever I think about The Hobbit now, I just think about the fucking pinball machine, because it's like that machine is the pinball machine that I've played that most feels like a cheapo casino slot machine. Like not in that like, oh, it plays like one. It's just the fucking screen on it and the way that it feels. It's like a patchy slot. Like if you've seen any footage of like a patchy slot game, it reminds me of that. Gandalf telling you to hit the bonus or whatever.
Hit the bonus.
I mean, I'm like 90% sure that he actually says, he's just like, shoot the left lamp, like left ramp, like all that shit. Like it's just, I highly doubt it's actually fucking Ian McKellen or whoever. It's Ian McKellen, right? Yeah. But yeah, no. I have no fucking idea what Gollum movie could even be about. So I guess we'll all find out together. And I guess that should do it for this episode. Rose, thank you so much for joining me. Is there anything else that you'd like to cover before we wrap it up?
I think we talked about so many things, and we will only talk about more because they will never stop releasing games.
It's true. It is true. Yeah, I'm ready to just get back to gaming. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do after I finish 13. Like, I have such a wide swath of games. I think it's time to do a more retro thing. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm playing Final Fantasy 13. That is like a 15-year-old game at this point. But like, I got that PS2 all hooked up. I should go to town. I should figure something out. I have fucking Secret of Mana, like the original SNES one. I should pop that shit in.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let nature take its course. I'm gonna just feel around, see what's up. I mean, I haven't finished Xenosaga yet. That's probably what I should do. I should wrap up Xenosaga before I go in on anything else. Damn.
Well, were you on one of? You're still on the first one, or
I'm still on the first.
Okay. Yeah, you should at least finish that first one. Yeah,
I should at least finish the first one. Rose, what are you planning on playing next, though? I guess before we wrap it up.
Man.
What's on the agenda?
Like I said, I have fucking Saga downloaded. God knows when I'll get to it. I have the 1000x resist game because I've heard that's short. I do want to just kind of blow through it. I made the mistake of getting into Umineko now, and that's like 100 hours long. And I'm like a fourth of the way through it now. That's pretty good, but it's just like looking at the list of VNs I've passed up over the last year. Because they started translating them. Have you read Mihoyo yet, by the way?
That's another one that I'm like, I gotta go back because I got like a little bit into it and then I didn't. Yeah, I gotta get back to that.
You'll really like it. You'll really like it.
Yeah, I gotta fucking I gotta get back on the fucking saddle correctly.
You have more of an excuse than me in all honesty, because I feel like I have more access to games time than you, but I'm like, I just get torn in a million directions of like someone mentions something cool on Twitter and I'm like, I should check that out. And I usually have access to it because of all of my Steam family share shit. And I'm like, the endless loop. I wanted to check out that that Metroidvania. I heard it's not very long, from the guy who voice acted Bayek in Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yeah, Zhao?
That came out on PS Plus. Yeah, I heard pretty good things about it. Like that it's a nice, like, solid game.
I also wanted to check that out. Yeah, I remember when they announced that at the Game Awards, or
that was the funniest announcement ever.
Yeah,
I was like all in on that after that, just of him being like, this is a game to honor my father, a noble man who I loved, and this is my feelings. I put all my feelings and coping with his death into this game. And then it just started showing a guy doing like the triple jumps and shooting laser beams. I was like, all right.
I mean, man, if I could do triple jumps and shooting laser beams, that is absolutely how I would cope with anything.
Yeah, that's exactly. So I'm like, this is the right idea.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Our plates runneth over with gaming.
Yeah. There's nothing coming out really that much. I'm kind of scared of that Nintendo showcase next month, if they're going to drop like, hey, by the way, we're putting out like I don't know. I don't even know what they could announce, actually, so we're probably safe.
I think it's gonna be like everyone's already been like comparing the Switch winding down to the 3DS winding down, and I can absolutely see that. Like, I think we'll probably just get some like other like last minute remasters. I bet that's when they're gonna announce that they're doing like that Prime 2 and Prime 3 remaster thing. I bet they'll finally release the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD ports that have been rumored for like 300 million years. Like I bet that's what it'll just be. It'll just be a bunch of like cleanup small games and stuff that just to pad it out until they have the next console ready to go.
Yeah, I think in general we're safe for most of the year. I feel like it was so front loaded with like Yakuza and shit. Like it was just like, and they're all long games too, right? That's
they
like
are, yeah.
Like I played that Rise of Ronin recently, and that alone was like a really long one too. That was like a 50-hour game. Like, man, but I think we're fine. I think what are you gonna play Metaphor?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Like that's the only thing I think I'm super scared of this year.
But I might just wait for the Switch 2 version because Midori said that all that stuff's coming to Switch 2. Yeah, so
yeah. We'll see.
Because that's what I'm doing with Persona 3. I'm just gonna wait for that to be on Switch 2 because I think I like being able to carry JRPGs with me if I have the option.
Sure,
So
that's been nice about the Steam Deck. I'll say that the Steam Deck. That's kind of compounding my problems with playing a lot of games now because it's even more.
Yeah, having something that you could just install a bunch of shit onto and just flip through, like that's overwhelming.
Well, and my problem is always I want to go back to old games, right? And it's just like, when do you find the time to do all the old games on top of all the new?
I'm just gonna keep buying old games, putting them on my shelf.
Yep, I'm gonna keep adding them to my Steam Deck installation and then play it, open it once, and then be like, oh, I should wait on this one, and then repeat it anew every 3 days.
The true gamer's power. So that is what we must do.
It's true.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with me, Rose. This is a delight.
Yeah, always fun.
And thank you all for listening. If you wish to send in a question for us to answer, again, it is gamesline.tumblr.com/ask. If you want to follow us on Tumblr, you just remove that /ask and you can follow us on that. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it is at Gamesline. The Gamesline. At the Gamesline. At the Gamesline. I have to remember all the different fucking URLs and shit because, oh my god, it's been so long. Yeah, I should actually. I'm gonna reopen this because I was like, oh, I can remember all of them. No, John, you haven't done this in so long. You come on. Okay, yes, our website is just gamesline.net. I should have said that one first. Gamesline.net. You can go onto there and you can look at all the stuff that we've been doing. Hopefully, it gets a bit more now, because this is gonna be my job now, pretty much. So we'll see. I mean, just with time spent. Facebook.com/Gamesline, our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@thegamesline. I gotta get those fucking stream VODs up there. I forgot about that because I was playing Bot and Kaidos on Twitch for like a month and nobody was watching. So if you want me to do that, you gotta start watching the streams, please. I'll do it. I'll play stuff. You just come on down. Take a gander. I'm hanging out. I'm ready. We're all doing stuff. And if you don't want me to do it, then fine, I won't. But that stuff is on twitch.tv/GameslineTV. I'll see when I'm up to doing that again. Our Patreon is patreon.com/Gamesline. It's $3. We are going to probably be doing unlimited Railworks again soon. So if you're a patron, you'll get that a whole week early. And I'm looking forward to us doing that again. And our Discord server is thegamezone.zone. Type that into your web browser and it'll bring you straight there. And thank you to Magic Circuit, previously known as Melt Channel, for our theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to their stuff, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com or magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. And they're still doing Bandcamp Friday, so hop on that when the first Friday of every month. It's still happening so far. Rose, where can people find you?
Over at Twitter at Horngal, HORNGAL. That's pretty much the only place these days. I'm just chilling.
Yeah. I'm on Twitter at JOHN_MICHONSKI. And yeah, that's pretty much all I'm using too. But that is it. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening, and we'll be back next week, most likely, with another episode of the Gamesline podcast. Thank you so much. See you soon.